So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who was the person who perfected the 1990s version of the mullet in sports. I know John Kruk did a really good job. Mitch Williams. I like Mitch because he gave up the World Series home run against the Blue Jays in '93. But this guy perfected it, and they made fun of him over the years, but it's been pretty much 45 years he's been part of hockey at a major level, if not more. Of course, we're going to talk about the legend of Barry Melrose. Now, Barry Melrose is more well known now for being a coach, a broadcaster, but he has quite a resume. He played in the WHA and the NHL, and he also was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, the same team he faced in the 1983 Stanley Cup Final, where Gretzky was on the second level of his career. He wasn't in his prime, but close enough. And because of pretty much the overtime magic of Montreal that season, playoff season, and Marty McSorley's illegal stick, Montreal bet them in 5 games. Now, when he retired from playing, he became a head coach, and he's most well known for coaching the Kings. Now, he is currently a longtime commentator and hockey analyst for ESPN and for the great NHL network. Now, Melrose began his career as a defenseman in the WCHL with the Kamloops Chiefs in 1974. Now, he did play in the SJHL for Weyburn the year previously, but the major junior called in 75. Now, that season, in a very, very strong stay-at-home defenseman year, he had 6 goals and 18 assists for 24 points. Now, after that good start, he was getting a lot of scouts looking at him, and his second year at Kamloops put up some really nice numbers, ladies and gentlemen, almost a point a game pace. He had 12 goals and 49 assists for 61 points in 72 games, and he went 4-6-10 in the playoffs. Now, for some reason, and a lot of the Montreal Canadiens draft picks were jumping to the WHA, and he did start the season in 76-77 with the Springfield Indians, but eventually found his way to the WHA. And the Cincinnati Stingers of the late 1970s really should have been allowed to be in the NHL. They had some really good players, Fatorik and Hislop and a few others. Now, he moved mid-season, again, from Springfield to the Stingers, and he had his first WHA goal that season, added 4 assists in 29 games. Final 2 seasons, he had 2 goals and 9 assists for 11 points in 78 and 69 games. And in WHA, in the Stingers' last season at WHA, he had 16 points in a regular season, including 1 assist in a shortened playoff because some teams had dropped out of the WHA for the start of the playoffs. Now, when the WHA merge occurred, the Stingers, obviously, all their players were free agents, and he decided to join the rebuilt Winnipeg Jets. They had a few WHA players left over, but Melrose's stay-home defensive style impressed the Winnipeg management, and he was signed for 1980. Now, in the 1980 season, he had 4 goals and 6 assists for 10 points. Now, in 81, he got some really, really strong media coverage. He moved from Winnipeg to the Maple Leafs in 81, and he had a combined 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points in 75 games that season. 82 season in Toronto, 6 points in 64 games, a lot of penalty minutes. He was a very aggressive player. 83, he had 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points. Now, he was sent down to St. Catharines a little while, ended up out of the Maple Leaf program in 83-84, split time with Detroit and Adirondack that season. 85, he spent the whole year in Adirondack. Then he made it back to the NHL in 86. And 87 with the Red Wings, he finished off his career. Now, he has some major totals, ladies and gentlemen, for 3 different associations. WHA, 178 games, 32 points, including 5 goals. AHL, 54 points in 248 games. NHL, 300 games, 33 points, including 10 goals. So over 700 combined games in the WHA, the AHL, and NHL, the three strongest leagues of their generation, and that's very impressive. Now, it's kind of weird how he ended up with the Kings, and let me break this down a little bit. Upon his retirement, he decided to go right into coaching. Now, he went back to the Western League, Major Junior, in 87-88 with the Medicine Hat Tigers, and he led them to a 44-22-6 record and an appearance in a Memorial Cup where he won the title. Now, he moved the next season to the Seattle Thunderbirds before jumping the AHL and coaching his former team, Adirondack. Now, he spent 3 years with the Red Wings and led them to a Calder Cup win in the 92 season. So as it starts right now, you've got Memorial Cup and you've got Calder Cup. Now, starting with the 92-93 season, Melrose coached the NHL's LA Kings, leading them to a Stanley Cup final, again, where he lost to Montreal in 5 games. Now, he continued coaching the Kings for 2 more seasons, and his infamous mullet was flying. He was a very dapper guy. He behind the bench, he was very animated, very good bench boss, good with his players. But only, this is kind of bizarre, even though he had Gretzky for a short time, he finished both years out of the playoffs with the Kings with losing records. Now, after he left the Kings, he spent 13 years as a hockey analyst with ESPN. And on June 4th, 2008, he told the co-host on Party Eruption he had missed coaching and he would entertain any NHL coaching offers. He said, "I miss not having a dog in the fight." Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning, who was just recently joined the league, not recently, but we're a young franchise, they decided to hire Melrose as their head coach in June 2008. Now, on October 21st, 2008, he recorded his first win as head coach in over 13 years in a 3-2 victory over Atlanta. But for some strange reason, I still don't know why, he was eventually fired by the Lightning just a few weeks later with only a 5-7-4 record. So I think basically, I don't know what Tampa Bay was thinking. I think basically they were looking for somebody younger. Now, because Melrose joined ESPN in '96 as a commentator and analyst, he went back to ESPN actually on the Winter Classic, which featured his former Detroit Red Wings against the Blackhawks. That was January 1st, 2009, and currently he serves as a contributor to the NHL Network. Now, it's kind of the legend of Barry Melrose. Now, good Saskatchewan boy. He was born in Kelvington, and he grew up in a farm. Now, what's really, really nice, his family is probably one of the most talented, other than the Sutters out west. He is the cousin of Wendell Clark and Joey Koser, and longtime minor league forward Kerry Clark. Now, he has also been featured in various minor TV and movie roles. You can check him out on IMDb. Now, he did a guest star in a season 5 episode of Spin City titled Hey Judith, and he appeared in Slapshot 2, as well as the movie Mystery Alaska, which is the Russell Crowe movie about hockey. And he was also featured in Tony Robbins' various, life coach infomercials. It was well known. Because if you're going to look at somebody's career, ladies and gentlemen, he is an overachiever in every shape or form. Almost 50 years at the highest levels of hockey. Again, Major Junior in Canada, WHA, AHL, NHL, NHL Network, ESPN, head coach in AHL, head coach in the NHL, Stanley Cup finalist. And that's extremely, extremely impressive. Now, here's the question. There's been some talk in recent years, should he be inducted in any hockey Hall of Fame or related? I basically believe, from a media perspective, he might be on a short list, and I tell you why. I know it sounds kind of bizarre. It's because we might see more color commentators making it into Halls of Fame. I know, if I'm not mistaken, he has been nominated for various Sports Hall of Fame in his home province, but I don't know exactly if those nominations have come true. To my knowledge, he's not in any minor or major Hall of Fame, and basically, I think he deserves recognition for not only coaching Wayne Gretzky, and Gretzky said he was a great coach, not only changing the way that coaches were observed, he was a player's coach. And when you hear about the history of player coaches in Canadian and NHL and world history, Barry Melrose name comes up. He wasn't worried. Like if you're starting your career as a Montreal Canadiens draft pick, and you decide to go to Ohio to play hockey in the number 2 league with the Cincinnati Stingers, you're saying he must love hockey because he's not even staying for a shot in the NHL. He's taking a decision to pursue any form of his career. See, minor hockey players and players have just played, a marginal career in the show. They never give up hockey. There's a certain person I know, I'm not going to say his name, he's trying to get back to coaching, and he wants to have that opportunity in the AHL and the NHL after coaching elite in Canada and Europe at different levels, not the NHL or AHL. You see, Barry kind of wrote the book about the personality coach that wasn't around in the NHL. It was around in baseball. It was around like the Sparky Anderson style. We talk about Tommy Lasorda. Dick Williams, very much a player's coach. That's why Dick left Oakland, because Charlie was fucking up in the head because he was a player's coach. Anyway, for me, Barry Melrose is always going to be underrated because we in the media, and I'm not talking for everybody, we always saw him as a person that just didn't fully click all the boxes of what an NHL player would be because of his appearance and his coaching style. Like I said, he's almost like it's something. He knows a lot about hockey, and my friends have told me, you talk hockey with Barry Melrose, it's amazing how much he knows, because I guess he's a bastion of information, and he's a short journalist, as we say. He can say things in a few seconds. That's like, look how bad Mike Milbury is as a color commentary. Howie Meeker, Howard Geeker. You go on for 7 minutes. Barry Melrose, I saw him announce one game. You asked him what happened in the game. Well, he said, if you don't score, you don't win. That's it. He had nothing else to say. That's what he said. That's an old Canadian adage. If you don't score, you don't win. Shoot might go in the net. Like, you expect him to say something like that. But I still remember that mullet in '93. If you go back and watch the 5-game series, 3 things stand out. Patrick Waugh, Montreal in overtime, John LeClair, and Barry Melrose's mullet. Billy Ray Cyrus had a mullet, not as good as Melrose. There should be... He should get an Emmy for best mullet, best sports Emmy, best mullet at the sports Emmys. Anyway, I would have voted for him. So, have a good evening. Keep your stick in the ice, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully the heat wave in New Brunswick will end sometime soon. Bye.